Hey everyone, this is Mark, and this is Minecraft Stoneblock, Episode 7. I am down in what is going to be my AE2 room, just looking around, seeing how it looks, kind of liking how this came together. And I'm also going to take a look over here at the power system we set up last time. If you recall, we were using cows in a jar to make milk, to power these slimy generators, and we were pulling rice to make rice balls. And as you can see, we're making a lot of rice balls. We're using this tank and mechanical users to fill buckets both here and here. And we have a lot of rice. I'm a little concerned here because we're really getting backed up with rice dough, and I don't know if that's going to block the buckets or not, so I have to keep an eye on that over time. We're getting really close. This is slowly edging up to full, but it is keeping an open output slot for the empty buckets to go back to the mechanical user, so maybe that'll work. The other thing I changed here was I added some energy conduits to actually pull the power out of these generators, which are all full. They're all running at a slow pace because this is full. We've got 2 million RF stored here, and it is all going into a flux network. So flux networks are wireless power. They're really handy, and I just set one up in the interim between episodes so I could deal with some of the garden issues I was having. Namely, I wanted to make sure we were harvesting enough rice to keep our power going. So the flux network has more or less three main components. You've got this controller, and the controller, you find the connections. The controller basically runs the whole network. It doesn't do anything other than that. It's sort of a logical centerpiece. And then you have plugs, which I always get them backwards. Yeah, the plugs add energy to the network. So this is the plug, and it's slowly pulling energy out of this energy cell. You can see the energy cell orange is output, so it's slowly pulling power out of there. This side we're feeding in energy, which is blue. Yellow is nothing. And adding energy to the network. Now, we are using energy. You can see we're spending 50 FE per tick, and that's just a display thing. That's essentially 50 RF. Where's it all going? Well, I really wanted to make sure that we had the rice we needed. So I went ahead and built a harvester from Cyclic, which does a good job of harvesting this room. If we watch here for a minute, that wheat gets harvested, and then some more stuff grows, and in a few seconds we'll see the rice and the wheat all get harvested. So it does sort of a steady cycle of harvesting, and you can see that there it's harvesting more. And you can change the area, you can change the sort of way it attempts to harvest. Either it'll do single spot at a time or do the entire area at once. You can see that it's covering this area quite nicely and doing a good job for me. So we have the harvesting in this room covered, and turn that off. If we go downstairs, we can see where all these plant goods are going. So I have there's the harvester, and if I get close enough, no, you can't quite hit it. Oh no, that's not the harvester. You can only pull out of the back of the harvester, so I can't quite hit it from here. Yeah. But anyhow, all the materials from that harvester are feeding down into this ender chest. This ender chest is set to white, 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 and if you're not familiar with ender chests, they basically, each ender chest with the same color combo on the lid is sort of one virtual chest. So you can see that this chest is receiving the harvested goods from upstairs, and if we watch this for a minute, we'll see some rice and rice seeds and wheat seeds. Yeah, there we go. Pop in and then they disappear. Well, where they're disappearing is the next part of the story. Oh, we are on the bottom level. No, not quite. I need a few more elevators in here as I'm confusing myself with where I am. I also went ahead and set up the storage room. You can see I haven't put a ton of stuff down here, but I'm slowly allocating drawers to the items I need, and I did go ahead and put the crops we're harvesting here, as well as the inferium we're going to be harvesting soon, just so we're not losing any of that and it's getting harvested in a timely fashion. I also, and here's how it's getting here. So there's our other ender chest, and if we watch this for a minute, there's our products coming in, and they're immediately going into the drawer controller here that is connected to all these drawers. And there's a lot of drawers. And items that are fed into a drawer controller will go to whichever drawer they're allocated. And I have every drawer here locked, so it won't randomly shoot stuff into empty drawers, because I kind of want to control what ends up in drawers. So that is exporting, and this is, sort of standard Ender IO conduits. It's just extracting at a constant rate. I need to build a speed upgrade for it because it's not keeping up with some of the faster processes. And it's inserting on green into the storage controller, and I bumped the priority up here just to make sure that it always inserts into this if possible. Because I also have this small chest storage crate here, which is inserting at -1, which means anything that can't go in a storage drawer ends up in here. And there are two ways things end up in here. One, their storage drawer is full, so they can't go into the storage drawer system. Or two, there's no storage drawer allocated for them. Like these blocks, the andesite, granite, and diorite, there's no storage drawer allocated for those yet. I've been gradually dumping stuff into the ender chest upstairs to see where it comes out. So I can take like the granite here, for example. Let's see. We can stick this over here. So we put granite in here, or andesite in here, and it should have pulled the remaining andesite out of this drawer. It did, because this is also set to extract, but it's only going to extract if it has somewhere to go. So I'm going to go ahead and give these two drawers, and that will empty that, so we don't have any backlog anymore. Everything that is currently sort of coming into the system, if you will, goes somewhere, and there's no trash. We're going to make some trash very shortly, but before we do, one of the problems with moving everything down here is it's all way down here in the middle of nowhere, and it's not accessible from our workshop yet. Once we get Applied Energistics up and running, we can cable the storage controller, the drawer controller, into the AE system, and we'll be able to see all this stuff through AE. However, I did build this storage scanner from RF Tools, and it's a pretty simple block. It just needs a machine frame and a couple ender pearls and some torches and some gold. And what the storage scanner does is it scans all the inventories in a specific radius. So you can see it's got a ton of drawers that it's found here. I'm not sure why it thinks glowstone is an inventory. But, okay. That's very odd. Anyhow, it picked up a couple chests that are probably in range somewhere. But the most important thing it picked up, where is it, is the drawer controller. I don't know why that's not routable. It is routable, which is what we're seeing here. This is all the stuff that's currently in our drawer system. And it will do, you can do crafting recipes here. Like I was just doing some blocks, But if I do, I don't know, something simple. Well, let's do something that I actually want. I want a storage tablet because the storage tablet gives us remote access to the storage scanner. And we have what we need, or do we? Nope, see, we don't have blocks of redstone. So if I do this, the interface is a little clunky. So I can craft those and then I can drop them back in. Oh, and there's no place to put them because I didn't put redstone in a compacting drawer, which I should have. So let me fix this real quick. I need to... Am I going to be able to grab all that? Yeah. You know, I'm not going to be able to grab it, so I'm not going to fix it right now because there's a chicken feeding this and it's just a lot of stuff. Let me see if I can... I should be able to fill these blanks in by myself. Yeah, it took it from my inventory. So we have our storage tablet. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this interface, which is why I'm being dumb. So this doesn't have any storage module to talk to. It's basically a portable mechanism for accessing a storage module, but it's not connected to anything at the moment. So what we're going to do is, one other thing, you'll note this actually uses RF. One of the things we get from loot bags are these Spectre coils, which produce, I think it's 128 RF per tick, which is plenty to run this. So I just stuck one of those on top. That's where this is getting power, in case you're wondering. And this, once we get this fired up, it also uses power, but the wireless flux network is set to charge things wirelessly. So this will be charged as long as we're, I think as long as we're in this dimension. They may even work across dimension. I haven't really tested that. So what we need to do is we need this storage control screen module to connect up the storage scanner with our storage tablet. So I think we can just make this. I could be wrong. What do we need? We need a crafting table. I know I can make a crafting table because I have stuff in my inventory. I've been doing so much building, I picked up another one of these alchemical bags just for supplies. So if I stick this in my inventory and I try and build this again, it finds the one in my inventory. So now we shift right click this here and you can see that the module is set to the storage scanner, and then we craft these two items together, and now if we click on this you can see that we have access to everything that is in everything that's visible to this storage scanner. We can see, if you look, like there's arrows and ardite and andesite at the top here, and there's andesite, ardite, and arrows. So we're seeing everything that's in the that's accessible to the drawer controller. So basically it's a poor man's AE storage system. The crafting's a little clunky, it feels like to me, but it works. So we're going to use that while we do some other things around the base. And the next thing I want to do actually is I want to go look over at our mess of mob farm, because as we discussed last time, the mob farm inventory is just horrifying. There's just stuff building up here and we need to do something with it. So I got rid of the trash cans here because I've kind of made the choice that I want to handle all the trash over at the main storage system. And that may be a mistake for the bag opener because we're going to get stuff out of the bag opener I want to recycle. But for now, I'm going to live with it. But for now, what I really want to do, the bag opener, we can turn that off and on because all the bags are just accumulating here, and this will hold millions of bags. So we're not really concerned about that right now. This is a problem though. So what I'm going to do is I am going to find some item conduits, and I'm going to connect up this storage crate, and you're going to be extract always active, and you're going to be insert. But before we do that, I want to get rid of this storage crate and replace it with somewhere an ender chest, because this is another all white ender chest, which means that everything in here, if we watch this for a minute, we're going to see rice and wheat and assorted other harvested crops go by. There you go. So this is the same ender chest as all the other ones. They're all connected. And all we're going to do is insert into this. And it's immediately going to start filling up with junk. So that junk is going to backstop. Well, it might fill this up depending on how fast we move stuff. But yeah, we're keeping up for now. Maybe. We'll see. So basically, all the stuff in this chest is slowly going to empty out. It's going to end up down by the storage drawers, either in a storage drawer if there's space for it, like the Inferium's moving in because there's actually a drawer for Inferium. But a lot of this stuff has no drawer. So I'll be moving this stuff out of that small crate down there that's essentially the trash box. And stuff I want to keep is getting a drawer, and the rest of the stuff I'll figure out a trash system down there. So that takes care of the biggest of our problems here, which is this accumulation of trash. And you can see it's fairly fast. I definitely want to do some upgrades on the Ender IO conduits. And the biggest one I want to do is a speed upgrade. And that is this, the extract speed upgrade. And you can see to do that, most of the ingredients are pretty easy. It's just a piston, a torch, a redstone torch, some iron, but we need electrical steel. And the only way to make electrical steel that's sort of within reach, that's not chickens, is the alloy smelter. So I think I'm going to make a simple alloy smelter, and I think I can do this pretty easily with the materials we have on hand. It's not super complicated, it's just a little bit of a pain. Because, so let me get my tablet. Let's just see. If we look at the simple alloy smelter, we don't have anything for it. Oh. Well, I don't know why it always uses this iron alloy ingot when it can use iron. See, it can use iron, so it's doing something strange with that recipe. Stone gears, I know we can make. I believe stone gears are just cobble. Wow, only picked up one. I think my keyboard might be dying. I keep messing with the shift key there. Let's see. Yeah, so we can make the stone gears we need. We have the iron we need probably in here still. Nope, we don't. So let's grab some iron. We need 2 furnaces, which are easy enough. Oh, and we need this simple machine chassis. So we need grains of infinity, more iron, and iron bars. Don't think we have any iron bars, so we'll need to make a set of those. And we do have grains of infinity because those are something that you can get from sifting dust, I think. I don't remember, to be honest. We need to make this, which we can. And we need to make this, which we can now. So now we have an alloy furnace. And to make it simple, I'm just going to stick it here for now, and I'm going to stick this spectre coil on top just so it has power. So the alloy furnace is really slow. So I'm going to go ahead and start the electrical steel we need to make the speed upgrades, and maybe by the time we're done here, it'll be done. I should remember this recipe. Alloy smelter. It is iron, pulverized coal, and silicon, none of which we can make yet. We have a little bit of silicon somewhere. Yeah, we got some from a loot bag, so we have some silicon. How am I going to make pulverized coal today? This might turn into more of an adventure than I thought. Pulverized coal we can get from... I'm sure we can make a pulverizer. Yeah, I think we'll just make a pulverizer. So we need a couple copper gears and a redstone reception coil. Machine frame is just glass and iron. And a tin gear. So we need some tin, we need some copper. And I think both of those are... and tin. So I did make a gear cast for the alloy smelter because I was planning ahead. Now I can't put tin and copper in here together because that makes bronze. If you recall, I've talked about the fact that it's easy to make mistakes. Well, we have a lot of constantin because I was stupid and put, I think it's silver and copper in at the same time. So, and didn't really notice. We also have monster spawning in there, so we got some blood out of the smeltery too. But there's our 8 copper, so we can pour 2 gears really quick. There's 1, there's 2, and go ahead and stick that in there so we can get the 3rd one. I also need to correct something about the chicken farm that we built last time. I overlooked one thing in the process. Basically, the block placer actually needs a redstone signal to run, which I didn't include in the setup. So I was sitting there scratching my head, wondering why it wasn't working, and it wasn't working because I just need a lever. So I think I can make this. Well, let's just actually pulverizer. We need this, which we can make. And we need this, which needs a piston. Well, I don't have any pistons. I made like 20 pistons today, and they're all gone, and I have no idea why. Probably for compacting drawers. So the piston and the pulverizer. Spectre coil will only run one device, so the pulverizer... I don't want to stick it there. That's a bad spot. Let's stick this now. This isn't much better, but it'll do for now. I do have a flux point ready to go. So I'm going to real quick, just turn off all the inputs and outputs to this. So the flux points sort of come out of the box. They're not configured. All you have to do is select a network, and it's ready to go. And you can see it's outputting 80 IP per tick. I think I can actually force this. Yeah. Let's save changes. Now we should be able to see. Okay, now we're seeing our RF. So this is full. We just need some coal that we can pulverize, which I don't have here, but I do have here. So if I stick this in here, we're going to get some pulverized coal. We have some iron. I guess we'll do 9. Now let's produce 2 each, so we'll have plenty. So if I stick these in here, this will very slowly make electrical steel for us. We're going to get some sulfur as a byproduct. And by slowly, I mean very slowly. Anyhow, while that's working, we can go over here and take a look at the chickens. I have upgraded the chickens a bit. We have iron, glowstone, and redstone chickens producing. And the roost collector, which is a block that collects the output from all nearby roosts. I think it's a radius of 4. These are just in range here, which is why that's offset. It's collecting the output from these chickens, and it will collect from all the other ones in that corner. And it's just stacking up here right now. And then we've got our breeding room, and I've multiplied our breeding room so we can do four pairs at a time. There's a switch that I was talking about that keeps the block placer running. It's nice to have because I can turn it off and it'll sort of deadlock the breeding process if I want to stop it for some reason. But anyhow, I was talking a little about chickens last time, and the fact that chickens are really kind of cheaty. If you look at this guy, he's just cranking out the redstone, which is fine. It's fine to have, plenty of resources, but you can make almost everything with chickens, which means all you really need to play this game play this mod pack is a whole bunch of roosts, which that's kind of boring. So I'm going to set a limit for myself that I can have no more than one sort of producing set of chickens for each resource available. But I'm also only going to produce resources that I would normally get from sifting. So, if you look at the sifting outputs, let's look at gravel. Gravel in the sifter produces, that's how to make gravel, not how to use it. Let's look at how to use gravel. These are the resources you can get from gravel, and so these are the resources that I'm going to use chickens for. I'm not going to use them for any of the hybrid sort of alloys or anything like that. Just to make it a little challenging, because it's just way too easy to make. Once you start making things like electrical steel chickens, for example, there's no need to make any machines. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use chickens solely for these raw materials and limit myself to gravel, sand, dirt, and dust. And only the materials I can get from that. So it'll mostly be the ores, stuff like lapis and coal, diamonds, emeralds, some of the oddball stuff like the grains of infinity we need for Ender IO. All that stuff I'll be getting from chickens. And speaking of chickens and getting stuff, I actually want to, wrong bag, I want to set up another Ender IO chest here to give us our chicken resources and pump them down into our supply. So this is going to be extract, always active as usual, and this is going to be insert and not extract. Oops. And right away, this is just going to start filling up with the redstone and the iron and the glowstone that the chickens over there are producing. So those three resources do have storage drawers down there, so they should get pumped out. The problem is it's a little too slow, which is why we're making the electrical steel to make the speed upgrade. So, do I have enough? I do. Let me go ahead and make 2 more since we have the resources. And I should now be able to make that speed upgrade. Wow, time flies when you're recording. I think I need another piston. And I need a redstone torch. And I have no sticks, of course. I do have to figure out what I'm going to do with all these storage drawers for wood up here. I kind of like to get those connected up somehow to the main storage, but I don't want to move all that stuff downstairs. So let's do that. And that should give us this. And I'm just going to make 1 for now because we don't have the electrical steel to make more. And if I go down here, I suspect what we're going to find is that this Ender IO, it's keeping up fairly well. If I stick this here, why are you not letting me? Oh, because I'm putting it in the wrong slot. Yeah, you can see already that that is speeding up the extract process. And this is basically moving stuff that we're receiving from remote locations that's going into the storage drawer system. So way back at the beginning of the show, or the episode, I showed you the rice getting fed into the power system over there automatically using an ender chest. If you're wondering how that's happening, this is a controller slave, which basically acts as another interface to the drawer system. It can see all the drawers that the drawer controller can see. And this one is set up to extract, and this particular ender chest is set up to receive only rice. And you'll note that this has a different color scheme up here. It's white, green, white. So if we go over and look at the power system, assuming I can actually see the top of that block, which I can't from the ground. If we go, let me get some blocks real quick. Get a nerd pole up there. So you can see that this is white, green, white, and that's how we're getting the rice over here from our storage system. Let's see, how are we doing on... you're so close. Yeah, we're down to 1 bucket. That might be a problem. I may just have to manually come over here and either yank rice dough out of this or put I can probably just put a big storage drawer here for rice balls. That might be a better solution. So I'll keep an eye on this and see what happens. I'm curious now whether we're actually going to this is going to keep running or if it's going to cause issues. But anyhow, we've covered a lot here today, so I'm not going to talk much longer. But I am going to, between episodes, I'm going to go ahead and start throwing some more stuff into these storage drawers. There's a bunch of stuff here that we we need to get stored and organized. So like if we take bones, for example, and I'm going to stick bones in with, I don't know, rotten flesh. Trying to sort of organize this so I know where to find stuff manually if I have to. You can see that those bones are now filling up because, remember, this has extract set and this is a higher priority destination, so it will slowly empty out anything that it finds a drawer for here when it has time. So I'm gonna clean this out and sort of put away the stuff that I know I'm going to want to keep, and eventually this will sort of automatically deal with all the stuff coming out of the mob farm. And I see glowstone is backing up, even though we have a drawer for glowstone, and that's an indication that this drawer is full. Yes, so stack limit is 8, and we have 8 stacks of glowstone in there, so that's a candidate for a drawer upgrade, which I don't have any handy, I don't think. But one of the things we'll be getting as mob drops from the highest level loot bags is emerald tier storage drawer upgrades, and they're fairly common, so upgrading drawers won't really be a problem. We clearly need more than 8 stacks of glowstone. So anyhow, I think that's about all I want to cover today. We have a storage system that's sort of working. We have access to the storage system from anywhere in our base, and we have power, so I can go ahead and do some stuff with power. In between episodes, like I said, I'm going to organize storage a bit more, get rid of a bunch of these chests that are scattered around. I will probably also do some... Man, I take a real frame hit every time I look over that way. Not sure why. I'll probably go ahead and set up a couple of more harvesters from Cyclic. Just set them up the same way this one's set up. So this farm, the inferior farm back here, and the farms upstairs that we have, these 2 farms, all get harvested. I did double up our wheat and rice production because I wasn't sure we were going to have enough to deal with the chicken breeding and the slimy generators, but we seem to be doing fine so far. So I'm going to deal with all that, and next time I'll have a new project to start. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I think it might actually be applied energistics. Anyhow, thanks for watching. That's a good place to wrap up. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, likes are always appreciated. Subscribe if you want to keep up with what's happening in the channel, and leave me a comment if you have any feedback. Thanks for watching, as always. Have a great day.